First question is asking about the difference between focus and concentration. Now, I'm not talking about the dictionary meaning, the lexicon meaning. It may be same, it may be very similar between focus and concentration. What I'm trying to say is from the meditation point of view. In Sanskrit, there are different words for concentration, focus, being attentive, or meditation. Now, meditation is not concentration. Meditation is an act of deconcentration, to let go of concentration. As long as we are concentrated upon something, we are always creating problem. Our perception becomes very limited. Whenever you concentrate on something, your perception is limited to that. It's just like some light. If you just have those flashlights there, it will be concentrated upon certain object and everything else is dark. Life is not like that. Life is one totality. So if you just focus on something or concentrate upon something, then you miss so many things of life. And you will exert yourself unnecessarily because life needs you to be open. And when you concentrate on something, you get tired. I try to differentiate a little bit between concentration and focus by adding a few words. Again, it is not a lexicon meaning, it's not a dictionary meaning. Concentration. For concentration, you need a lot of energy. You have to force yourself to concentrate upon something. Focus does not need so much energy. But the word that I normally like to use is being attentive. That is very close to meditation. Being attentive is being in the meditative state all day long. You are attentive to what you are doing. You are not focused upon just one thing or few things, but you are attentive. You are attentive when I use the word attentive in connection, the context of meditation. Attentiveness has got nothing to do with mind. Attentiveness has got everything to do with consciousness. So unless and until the mind becomes meditative, the mind is transformed into consciousness, you cannot become attentive. You will be either concentrating, exerting yourself, being mindful, which is like first aid. You go to hospital and you are immediately taken care of, but it's not a cure. The permanent cure is when the mind itself is totally transformed into consciousness. And once it is consciousness, buddhi in Sanskrit, you become a Buddha. So Buddha is not just this person depicted in the statue there. Buddha is a state of being. Once you are meditative, you become a Buddha. You become conscious. And then you can become attentive to what you are doing, what you are not doing. Being attentive is to see the whole picture and not to be disturbed, because you realize that this is all a game, this is all a play. So, if you are concentrating upon something, you are disturbed. Even in spiritual life, if you think, oh, I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian, and everybody else is going to hell, although we may not say it out, because they are not vegan. The vegan thinks the vegetarian will go to hell. The raw food eater, they think the vegan have not done much. Raw food is the best. So there is a different kind of ego you are creating, because you are concentrating upon something. There are people who are so concentrated upon herbal medicines. No, all chemicals are bad. Where the chemicals come from? They come from the same elements. Can't you see the whole picture? There are certain illnesses where you need medicine, If you can avoid medicines, fine, go for herbal. I am against all kind of surgery. But if there is no other way, then surgery. There's a god of medicine in the Hindu tradition, Dhanvantri. There's a relief on top of the swimming pool, the healing pool behind. So he has 4 hands, and each hand is having one special attribute. First thing is Nad, Shank, the conch shell. It represents sound. So a good doctor will start his therapy by just sound. Explain to you what your sickness is. And the moment you know what your sickness is, and you know that you are causing it, and you change your lifestyle, you change your diet, then you don't need any medicine. The doctor's job is finished. This is never understood by people. Okay, just 4 hands. But each hand has a meaning. So conch shell is sound, cognitive therapy. You explain to your client, you explain to your patient. If that does not work, then the second hand has got herbs. You give some medicine. Oh no, the second hand is water, before we go to herb. You give water because most of your sicknesses can be cured by water. Most of your sicknesses. So, if that also does not work, then the third step is herbs. The third hand is having a plant. And this plant, they say, is Tulsi plant. Tulsi is growing outside here. It's rich in chlorophyll, and it can take care of a lot of blood disorders. If that too does not work, then the fourth hand is having a chakra, a disc. And this represents surgery. If nothing is working, then go for surgery. But if you go to some doctor and he's immediately telling you to go for surgery, then something is wrong. You should try all these 3 first. Of course, time permitted, if there is still time. After having tried all these 3, if it doesn't work, then the last is surgery. So when you see a whole picture, you're not against anything. You're not against chemicals. You're not against vegan. You're not against vegetarian. You're not against raw food. But you know when to use what. Now, I firmly believe that we are not made to eat meat. Now, that is my opinion. That is my perception. So we are made to digest food, to digest fruits and vegetables. But I am not an extremist. I will not tell you that you must go only for raw food diet. It took us 5 billion years eating raw food to become human beings. Our ancestors were eating raw food as chimps, as chimpanzees. So why do you want to go back to that? And it will cause you bloating stomach, which you may not realize now. When you are still young, you don't realize it. You spend 10 years eating raw food. 10 years, at the age of 45, 46, you'll have bloating stomach, you'll have problem with your digestion. Because raw food, according to Ayurveda, thousands of years ago they knew this. It contains a lot of air, a lot of wind. And this wind is giving you problem later on. So you don't eat raw food, and you don't go necessarily for vegan. Milk is also important. It's not... the thing is, in the West, sometimes we become extremist. Somebody drinking milk, even going to the pub, drinking milk. You don't drink milk all day, You'll create problem for yourself. You drink milk only once a day, 200 milliliter. Not more than that. And that too, the right time to drink milk is just before you sleep. Warm milk. That will give you good sleep. So you don't drink milk all day. You don't overdo things. Moderation. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, not raw food, not overcooked food. Just right, sauteed or something, not deep fried. So everything has to be moderation. This is only possible when you see the whole picture. You are not concentrated upon something. Just this, everything else is wrong. Everything else is wrong. My guru would always advise us to become vegetarian. There was a small girl. She was dying of leukemia, and we all knew she was dying. About hardly 8-9 years old. So we were called in for an interview. And he told the parents of this girl, give her chicken soup. And the father asked, chicken soup? Said, yes, chicken soup. He really thought that he misheard him, because this guru would never ever advise anybody to eat meat. But this girl, and then third time when he asked my guru, he said, I told you to give her chicken soup. So they went back, gave her chicken soup. 6 or 7 days later, this girl is sleeping, and she went in and out of hospital many times, but this time she said, no, I don't want to go to hospital. I have seen my guru and I want to be home now. I'm well now. I'm well. She would say I'm well. So 7, 8 days or 9 days, not even 10 days. She was sleeping in the morning and she got up and she told her mother, Mother, please put me down, help me down and make me sit down because I want to meditate. I want to pray. Small girl. And she came down, she started chanting, Asatoma Sadgama, lead me from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. And she died. She died. And then once I had a chance to ask my master, another occasion, I said, you advised this girl to eat chicken soup. I said, yes. Because this girl was having only that desire left. She's a very highly evolved soul. And I didn't want her to die with that desire. She only had that desire left that she wanted to eat chicken soup. Nothing else. She had no other desire left. So I made her to eat chicken soup, and this is not a rule of thumb. You don't go around and tell people anybody suffering from leukemia must eat chicken soup. She was suffering from leukemia. You don't do that. This was a special case. So this is only possible with gurus who can see the whole totality. Garlic and onions have got their own usage. If you need them to get some energy, you need them. But if you are a monk and you are living in the forest, you can shun altogether all these foods containing fire element. But if you are still living in the world and you need some energy and you are vegetarian, garlic and onions are very beneficial. But again, you are not eating garlic and onion all the time. So you can eat kimchi, but once a week. Once a day would be all right. Don't overeat it. Don't overeat anything. Everything has to be in moderation. This is what attentiveness meditation gives us. Not focused and not forcing yourself to something, not concentrating, but being attentive. Now, I don't know what word you should use, but this is the difference.